The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Live Oaks Golf Club and Roosevelt's at Live Oaks. Whether you're in the mood for a hot lunch or you want to go play a quick 18 with a cold beer, the only choice is Live Oaks Golf Club and Roosevelt at Live Oaks on Highway 49 North.
Bar 2, let's go to Georgia Clemson. What you know more about this than I do as far as what the Sharks are thinking in Vegas. Georgia should be favored in this game. I mean, they're bringing all these people back. Clemson lost their quarterback and all these guys. I know they're still good, and Georgia out-recruits Clemson. The game's on a neutral field. It's in Charlotte, so that doesn't mean anything. It's not even a college football town. No home field advantage, yet Vegas has Clemson favored by 3.5, which tells me they don't trust Kirby and they love Dabo. How do you see it Saturday night with Georgia Clemson on a neutral field?
Well, and a lot of it is what happened last year. When you look at a lot of what people do in terms of modeling for an upcoming football season, much of it is rooted in what happened the year before. Now, obviously, 2020 was screwball, right? But nobody can say, I'm going to tweak my model one time for an outlier year. So everybody is dependent on what these teams did last year. Now, Georgia, look, their offense, when JT Daniels wasn't in there, was deplorable. It was 113th in scoring efficiency when JT Daniels didn't start. When he did start, it was 13th in the country. So my question on Saturday for Georgia is who's the starting quarterback? Because if it's JT Daniels, I'm taking Georgia. Unquestionably, because Clemson's got a new starting quarterback in there. Georgia is more talented. Georgia's defense, what they're returning, is better overall, in my opinion. And I just think a lot of the models, it's not just the Georgia-Clemson game. It's a lot of them. There's probably some of them that you're scratching your head going, why is that happening? And a lot of it is because they're using 2020 numbers as good numbers, as factual numbers, which they should. But I think a good example of it is like Washington, right in my backyard. Okay, Washington was 3-1, 4-1 last year. Didn't play nobody. Okay, but those are the numbers that books are using right now on their opening lines for win total and what people are talking about. The ceiling of Washington. And I think it goes for a lot of programs that are out there. Personally, I think we're all excited for Clemson, Georgia, because we know it's a playoff game.
Yes,
and it's absolutely a playoff game, and I'm taking Georgia.
Okay, all right. So Bartu's taking Georgia. DJ Uiagalelei against JT Daniels. So I don't trust Kirby at all in this game. I understand what Bartu's talking about as far as the numbers, neutral field, Georgia out-recruits them. It looks like they're bringing, even though Clemson's bringing back really good players, Georgia's bringing back more. And he's talking about the experience. DJ only played against Notre Dame and a little spot duty. JT comes in the last half of the season, started like 5 games, and so on. So that makes sense. I'm still going to go with Clemson because I don't trust Kirby, but I agree with what Bartu's talking about. If Georgia doesn't win, they should be, extremely disappointed.
They missed a window. See,
exactly.
This is a window.
Yes.
Right? We talk about these windows, okay? And this is Mark Richt's ultimate failure. His ultimate failure at Georgia wasn't getting into a national title and winning it or anything like that. Mark Richt had an excellent opportunity. Florida was down and in transition with Urban Meyer. Tennessee was a mess. South Carolina was in transition. There was a window of opportunity for a coach to jump through it and win the SEC East for a couple of years. And it was all laid out for Mark Richt. And you know who jumped through the window? Gary freaking Pinkel did. That was the window. The great coach, Pinkel, rose to the occasion.
Incredible.
That was Georgia's. That was Mark Richt's greatest opportunity of his career, in my opinion, is when everybody around him was falling apart. He had it. It was served up to him on a plate, and Gary Pinkel ate his lunch. Bottom line. So this is kind of a microcosm of that. You got all these guys coming back for Georgia. You've got elite, top-of-the-line recruiting, probably better than they've ever been before. They got a coaching staff. This is his best coaching staff. Now, I'm biased because he hired the number one guy on the board as their DB coach. So I'm really excited to looking to see their past defense. But I think it's all right here, and you got Clemson with a brand-new quarterback. First week, man, this window is wide open, and Kirby better jump through it. He better get this done.
That was a great way to frame it up right there. Real quick, what Pinkel and Bartus hammered this for years. What Pinkel did during that 3-year stretch